starting five for UCLA. Lazarick Jones, Malcolm Lee, Joshua Smith, the freshman, Tyler Honeycutt, and Reeves Nelson. For Florida, SEC regular season champions, backcourt duo of Irving Walker and Kenny Boynton, Vernon Macklin in the middle, Chandler Parsons, the multifaceted small forward for Florida, and Alex Tyus, the senior up front. For Billy Donovan's team, back-to-back national championships. And this group, it took a little time for them to mesh together and grow, and here they are as a number 2 seed in the Southeast region. This game is brought to you in HD TV by LG. Life's good. Officials, Pat Driscoll, Mike Nance, Michael Irving, and UCLA controls the tip. We're underway here in Tampa.
One of the key things for UCLA is to try to get the post established with Smith. And he's going to try his best to use that body to position himself for the catches, and fan participation to start things off for Honeycutt's errant pass.
So turnover to open play for UCLA. It was a 78-76 win over Michigan State, but they were outscored 52-36 in the second half on Thursday night. Boynton working around the perimeter for Walker. Parsons the drive and kick. Boynton. Parsons, one dribble and a jumper. Knocks it down.
Smooth the last time out, smooth again this afternoon. And right now it allows Florida to pick up. They want to up-tempo, force some turnovers if they can. Make UCLA make some decisions on the fly.
They handle the pressure. Reeves Nelson, it's going the other way. Contact with Macklin, who took the hit.
Good move there by Nelson. I'm not so sure. There was a little bit of a slide underneath here on the first glance. I think that's a moving screen right there, block, in terms of not positioning yourself quick enough. I think you have to give the offensive guy some room to make his move, especially when he's into it.
2 possessions, 2 turnovers for UCLA, and a 2-0 Florida lead. Just over a minute gone by, first half. Boynton feeds it down low. Tyus, the curl, left hand, no good.
Watch the Boynton and Lee matchup. Defensively, Lee is as good as they come in the country at his position.
What a job he did against Kalen Lucas the other night against Michigan State. Lee on the dribble breakdown. And out of bounds. Joshua Smith stepped on the baseline.
Lee with that little drift to the basket, just couldn't get his footing correct to get a better explosion to the basket. So far UCLA just feeling it out a bit.
They did get to the free throw line frequently against Michigan State. 47 attempts. They missed a bunch of them down the stretch. They finished 30 of 47, and they had 16 turnovers in the win over the Spartans. Parsons directing traffic. Walker breaks free. Nice little fake on Jones, and a bounce from Macklin. Wheeling, and Smith denies him. It's a tie-up. Florida has possession.
My old instincts going there with the jump ball, huh?
Yeah,
a little tie-up. Here is the hand coming across. Well done by Smith. He just has to be careful, I think, in the first 5 or 6 minutes of this game. They're going to challenge him, make sure that he stays away from the needless foul.
Boynton, the pull-up pop. Book it.
Boy, how's the elevation there, huh? One good bounce at the end to get himself elevated to shoot over people.
Aggressive, confident sophomore from Pompano Beach, Florida. 4-0 Gators. Half-court set here for UCLA. Lee led the way against Michigan State with 16. Honeycutt had 16 as well, and Smith finished with 14.
Yep, 2-3 look right now.
Here's Nelson. He had 12 points and 10 rebounds in the win the other night. Shot clock is down to 5. Get it in for Smith. Turns, fires, and connects. Billy Donovan said it's like guarding a freight train. Joshua Smith. And foul is called. It's Boynton creating on the perimeter.
And he got the ball down the right side of the floor so quickly. But watch the footwork, and then the extension with the one hand drifting through the middle of the floor, but very soft hands for a big guy.
Lazarick Jones called on the foul for UCLA. Kenny Boynton to the free throw line. He finished with 13 points in the 79-51 rout of UC Santa Barbara in the second round. Florida making its 16th NCAA tournament appearance. Finished the year strong, now 11-2 in their last 13 games heading into this one.
Got off to that 43-19 start in the first half, so clearly these guys, the Gators, should be pretty well rested in comparison to UCLA after their game with Michigan State.
Florida 6, UCLA 2. Early stages, first half. Jones gives up his dribble. Nelson way outside. Against the zone.
Almost like they don't know what to do against it at this point.
Jones a three, rimming no.
Oh, big guy.
Smith lays it in. He's got great hands on the interior and a soft touch.
You used that word mountain before?
I use freight trade.
I'll use mountain.
I think you fought mountain. Boynton on a bounce inside. Tyus bumping bodies with Nelson, and he gets it to drop with the offhand.
You know, one of the things is Florida will look to push this game, and that's one of the things that Ben Howland had mentioned to us in terms of transition defense. Very, very important this weekend for him to make sure his guys get back in a hurry.
Howland said Smith is a special player, and he's just scratching the surface, but he's really come on in his freshman year. Smith, and that is a tie-up. Possession arrow belongs to UCLA with 16:21 to play in this first half.
Well, you take a look down deep. Here's Smith, and let's see him do his work. Starts to come across. Nobody even close to blocking him out. Parsons on the one side, but not effective defensively.
Jones is forced to the UCLA bench, maybe having some trouble with his eye. And Jeremy Anderson checks in. Tip in, goes down for Smith. He just planted himself underneath, and Florida could not contain him. That's going to be an issue here today. Parsons stop and go, and the razzle-dazzle intercepted.
Give it up, good look. There's another good look, just a little behind.
And knocked out of bounds by Macklin as Lee was trying to get it to Reeves Nelson on the cut. We'll get our first time out with 15:53 to go in the first half. You can't move him.
You can't move him. Great position again.
Will, determination, perseverance, all are critical to a student athlete's success. But for some, it's just the beginning, because after their playing days, they'll take the lessons learned on the field into their communities to make an even greater impact. These are the athletes you'll find on the Buick Human Highlight Reel. Watch their stories unfold at ncaa.com/Buick.
We at Bud Light, like most advertisers, were going to run a 3D commercial this year. In fact, we made one, but it didn't test well. Here we go. Actually, it tested too well. We concluded that running this commercial would have been inappropriate, so we didn't. You're welcome, America.
It's the sure sign of a good time. The just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
The world's foremost meat mathematicians were summoned by Burger King to solve this vexing equation. How can we achieve maximum meat flavor for minimal money? They pondered every fiscal and plain-broiled combination until the most amazing breakthrough in meat science emerged. The BK Stacker, a crave-crushing quotient of beef, bacon, budget, and cheese. A carnivorous conundrum reduced to a head-slappingly simple 1, 2, 3. The BK Stacker, only from Burger King, where brainiacs and carnivores meet for meat.
That airline is gonna nail that frequent flyer with restrictions when he tries to use his miles.
That's a lot of red tape. Step on it. I can't escape the red tape. Now you can with Rapid Rewards. Come on.
Join Rapid Rewards and enjoy unlimited reward seats, no blackout dates, and no red tape.
He dribbles, he shoots, he even gets fouled.
Yeah!
The Late Show with David Letterman, your late night slam dunk, all new Monday.
When the madness ends, the chaos begins.
We've been trained to endure intense torture. Highlight of the mission, right there.
Chaos, coming April 1st, only CBS.
Florida 27-7 this season. We mentioned the growing pains for this particular group of Gators. Let's check in with more on that story with David Aldridge.
Well, Ian, Billy Donovan told me yesterday this may be one of his most rewarding coaching jobs of his career, considering that this group of seniors, which is Chandler Parsons, Alex Tyus, and Vernon Macklin, were among the players that Donovan basically threw off of campus 2 years ago. You may recall that that group started 18-3, but failed to make the NCAAs. And Donovan not only would not let them practice in Gainesville, he would not even let them wear warm-up gear that had Gators on it. Donovan said yesterday, I wanted them to understand that the reason wasn't that we didn't make the tournament, it was that we didn't work hard, we didn't practice hard, and we didn't know what it took to compete. They've learned the lesson, I'd say, Ian.
No doubt. And, D.A., keep in mind, these seniors, Macklin not included because he was at Georgetown, but these seniors, they were the first class after the back-to-back championship. So the expectations around Gainesville and around the country were still very high.
Yeah, and sometimes you forget as Nelson cuts to the middle of the basket. And how about Smith with that delivery? When you look at it, though, Ian, there was a little, I don't know if the word complacency is right, but the expectation was, well, you know what, we did it two in a row, and we may not have to work that hard to get another.
Yeah, just reload.
Yeah.
Here's Macklin on a kick out for Parsons. We're tied at 8. Tyus back in on Nelson. Again, left hand doesn't get the roll. And rebound ripped down by Nelson for UCLA.
Always around the basketball, Nelson, for UCLA, whether it's offensive glass, and he likes to bounce and bang. So watch him on the offensive glass when that ball's loose.
UCLA making its 44th appearance in the NCAA tournament. Crossover Lee on Parsons, zigzagging, 15 to shoot.
Hard to shake Parsons just then, and Parsons has the length also.
6'10", small forward.
He plays like a guard.
Shot clock is down to 5. Honeycutt, little bump from Boynton, and the scoop to the hoop goes. Tyler Honeycutt, first team All Pac-10. Comes in averaging just under 13 points per game. UCLA on a 6-0 run.
Smart move, too, with that extra dribble just then. It created the extra space.
Walker a 3. Irving Walker will shoot it from anywhere.
4 of 6 in the first round game, and boy, was he really spotting up nicely at the other game that they played, because what happens with him is he reads defense as well, and he reads his offensive teammates just as well also to know where he's going to get the shot in anticipation.
He was the high man with 18 points in the win over the Gauchos of UC Santa Barbara. 11-10, Florida leads it. 6 minutes gone by, first half. Nelson, the hard drive, and he's fouled by Tyus.
Watch this extra dribble right there. That gets him a little bit of space, a little bit of a flip, too, going to the hoop. And Walker over the screen. If you're just a split second late, it's too late, and he's going to drain a lot. He's very confident right now in the way he's shooting the basketball in this backcourt. But Florida is playing as well over the last, 3, 4, 5 games as they have all season.
Irving Walker sits. Kenny Boynton is charged with that foul. Macklin and Tyus join Walker on the sideline. And major changes here for Billy Donovan with Eric Murphy coming on. Scotty Wilbekin will see his first action, along with another freshman, Patrick Young.
Just about everybody against UC Santa Barbara who played for the Gators played well, but keep in mind that game was over relatively early, and it's easier to play without the pressure of a game like this, so it'll be interesting to see what they get out of the bench.
Parsons flicks it over for Boynton. That's a 3, way off.
Yeah, they don't need that one that far and that quick.
Anthony Stover in the game for UCLA, replacing Joshua Smith. Bruins lead by 1. The drive, Anderson switching hands.
Oh, the neck ball.
Every time that happens,
I love that play.
You get excited.
I love the neck ball.
You believe it's the most exciting play in basketball, don't you?
Close to it. It did freeze everybody for a second.
So Florida takes over, and the possession arrow will switch off now to UCLA. 12-11 Bruins on an entry. Parsons, nice spin off, but the foul was called on the floor before the release. Start a new bracket with round by round for every correct pick. Infinity will make a donation to fight cancer up to $500,000. Find out more at cbssports.com/infinity. Honeycutt called on the personal foul for UCLA. Get it in. Parsons, the deuce on the inside off the entry.
Parsons just looks like a guy who, two things, Zion, is having fun playing basketball, and the reason his confidence level is so high right now and he's playing well, it's a great package.
And a guy that might go surfing after the game as well with a mop top. Honeycutt, a triple for UCLA. 5th lead change in this first half. 15-13 Bruins. Parsons swings it out for Murphy. Now it's Boynton. Murphy's got range. He's a big man at 6'10". And nice touch as he gets the roll. Eric Murphy, the sophomore from South Kingston, Rhode Island.
7 points against UC Santa Barbara, and he was confident shooting the basketball also. So another big coming off the bench who can give them a little punch.
And both teams shooting it well. UCLA is 6 of 10. Florida 6 of 9. Against the zone here, UCLA.
2-3 look. And Parsons is going to extend to see if there's a shooter on the wing on the right side of the floor.
The UCLA team led the Pac-10 in turnovers this season. A back in. Nelson, tough shot, and he delivers.
Tough is the word for him. He's very, very difficult to guard because he's willing to put the body at people and make things happen. Not afraid to mix it up at all.
Murphy, a 3. Rebounded by Honeycutt.
That's the type of shot he hit in the first round. Good looking stroke there. Nice move by Jones.
Splitting defenders. Jones draws the foul. Murphy was the last line of defense. And Jones is going to shoot a pair for UCLA after the break. Murphy picks up his first personal. UCLA up 2 on Florida from the Southeast region in Tampa.
If you don't have an iPhone, you don't have the App Store. So you don't have the world's largest selection of apps that are this easy to find and this easy to download right to your phone. So it can be almost anything, like a boarding pass, or do almost anything, like pay for your coffee. Yup, if you don't have an iPhone, well, you don't have an iPhone.
Chris Paul on Game Science. 1 part challenger, 1 part dedication, 1 part hydration. This is Powerade Ion 4. Sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium. An essential part of my game. My game is floor general. 2 steps ahead, Alchemist. Mental and physical performance at every moment. Know the science, cause a reaction. Powerade Ion 4 Advanced Electrolyte System. Focus, hustle, hydrate, believe.
This isn't New York City, or the Windy City, and we're certainly no one's Emerald City. We're the Motor City, and this is what we do. Now lease the new 2011 Chrysler 200 Touring for just $199 a month for well-qualified lessees.
Where I grew up, there was violence and crime in one direction and the bright lights of Broadway in the other. The first time I touched a piano, I knew which way I was headed. I poured my heart into every note of Empire State of Mind until it sounded perfect. And it kills me that people might not get to hear it the same way.
HP TouchSmart with the Intel Core processor and Beats Audio. Hear music the way the artist intended. Only on HP. Everybody on.
Hey, what's going on?
Doing the shipping.
Man, it would be a lot easier if we didn't have to weigh them all.
If those boxes are under 70 pounds, you don't have to weigh them. With these priority mail flat rate boxes from the Postal Service, if it fits, it ships anywhere in the country for a low flat rate.
No way.
Nope.
No way?
Yeah. No way. Sure.
No way?
No way.
Yes way, no way.
Priority mail flat rate shipping starts at just $4.95, only from the Postal Service, a simpler way to ship.
Support disaster relief efforts to help those affected by the Japan earthquake and Pacific tsunami. Text Red Cross to 90999 to give $10. CBS Cares. First half action here in Tampa, 17-15. UCLA leading Florida. John Calipari has already moved on. That's his son on the right, posing for some photos. And a sigh of relief as well for the Kentucky Wildcats after West Virginia took that lead at halftime. And then Kentucky came storming back in the second half. Lazarick Jones at the free throw line, 80% shooter. Junior college transfer, John Logan College in Carterville, Illinois. Won a state title and a city title in Chicago, Simeon High School, and teammates with Chicago Bulls superstar Derrick Rose, who played for Calipari at Memphis.
Not a bad player in his own right, huh?
Probably going to win the MVP award, Jimmy.
He might just do that.
1915 UCLA. Florida has just 1 rebound so far. And a turnover as Wilbekin was trying to get it inside for Macklin.
Well, UCLA is pretty tough inside, and Billy Donovan understands that because posting up is going to be a problem. He wants to try to get it on the blocks. Don't be afraid to kick it back out to your shooters, because I'm sure UCLA, if there are some easy touches for Florida on the blocks, will try to double team that to force it out.
Brendan Lane in the game for UCLA. He gave Ben Howland quality minutes in the win over Michigan State. They swing it over. Lane, rainbow delivery, no. Smith in there, and a block for Young. Patrick Young is well put together as well.
Yeah, doesn't have the weight, but he has the strength. Although Smith had terrific position again on the offensive glass.
Young, 6'9", 245 pounds. Smith is listed at 6'10", 305. Inside, Smith stepping in for the steal, and a foul called.
Every so often you see Smith do something that just really baffles you, thinking that he's 300 pounds or so. Watch the footwork. He gets his feet moving a little bit and then gets on the floor. He took a big hit the other night, hitting the floor too with his elbow. And right there again. That time on the left side of his body. The other last game was at the right side of his body.
UCLA with a 19-15 lead. Tyler Lamb in the game. Kick out. Jones lines it up and rims out on a 3. Here's Walker using the high screen. Young got Jones on the pick.
He sure did. A nice job setting that pick.
Directing traffic. Walker. Pull up 3. Doesn't go. A foul call. Jones tried to work around the screen. And Irving Walker is going to get 3 free throws for Florida. Jones collared with his second foul.
And Jones that trip was trying his best not only to get around the screen, but I think to avoid the foul there. He puts his hand up, and at the very last minute, you see Walker just falling enough, a little bit of a touch. He didn't get hit that hard the way he fell down, but a little bit of acting on the jump shot never hurts.
5'8", 171 pounds. Walker missing on the first attempt. A fearless point guard. Junior has been doubted through the years because of his size. Plays a lot of minutes for Billy Donovan, second team All-SEC.
Size-wise, he has the #1 point guard sizing, but he plays like a 2 guard also. He's that combination of a guy who can handle it and shoot and look to score.
Yeah, Billy Donovan talked about the relationship that Walker and Boynton have now forged over the last year. They've become a lot closer. And he said now they're connected at the hip, and they feed off one another out on the floor.
Oh, it's just so important to have that chemistry as the backcourt. It really, and then if you throw Parsons into the mix, it's a real nice mix in terms of being able to rely on one another and have the confidence that 3 guys can handle the ball and deliver it.
After 14 years, I'd like to see you and I maybe develop some chemistry at some point, Jimmy.
Well,
work on that.
Maybe we'll get 14 more years of doing this.
Nelson, the leaner, and a blocking foul called. Macklin trying to slip in. He got the benefit of the call earlier. He didn't get it this time.
It's Nelson's ability to drive to the basket, though, fearlessly, that gets him to the line.
And Nelson, a 61% shooter. First team all Pac-10, Modesto, California, out of Modesto Christian. UCLA up by 2. Tomorrow on 60 Minutes, Scott Pelley's report from the tsunami zone and a look inside the American team working to avert nuclear disaster in Japan. That's tomorrow, only CBS. UCLA now 7 of 14 from the field, 6 of 6 from the free throw line. And they have a 21-17 lead. Nelson off to the quick start. He's got 8 points. We are just past the midway point of this first half. Parsons outside. Boynton.
Lee has jumped over to Parsons now defensively.
Back in. Macklin attacking at the chest of Smith. And a foul called.
That's what happens sometimes with the big guys. You want to make sure you get them moving and do it the way you think you can do it in terms of getting some position. So you put the ball on the floor strongly to get 2 steps going to the middle. That forces Smith, who had actually a late start moving just then. It was an easy call from the officials.
Get it in for Parsons, and he drains it. A long 2-pointer for Castleberry, Florida native Chandler Parsons. He's got 6 on 3 of 3 from the field.
We talk about Lucas from Michigan State the other night, guarded by Lee. Parsons got that shot off. I think Lucas would have loved to have gotten a couple of free looks. Didn't get many.
Get it inside. Smith leaning in, comes up short on the banker. 21-19 UCLA. Parsons on a bounce. Macklin again, same move. And the sweep across the lane goes down.
Keep going to it. I'm sure Florida and Billy Donovan will try to get that ball back to the post again. Success. You got to make UCLA make a change down there.
Florida is 8 of 12 from the field. That's 67%. Lee looks down low. Tyus came out defensively. Oh, pretty move. And it's Lee knocking it down off the ankle breaker.
Did that come from between his legs, reverse between his legs just then?
My eyesight is not that good, Jimmy. I just know it was an excellent move. 23-21. Walker, pump fake. He got Anderson up in the air and drains it for 3.
Not only does the ball fake free the defender, right? The defender's now out of the play because you faked him out of the gym. It allows you that 1 bounce, and as a shooter, if you get the 1 bounce, it adds up to rhythm and usually adds up to success with your Jays.
24-23 Florida. Nelson the jumper. And it's rebounded by the smallest man on the floor, Walker. Gets it ahead. Boynton pull up. Can't hit the 3. And Nelson there for the board for UCLA.
Right on line, that shot. We were looking right over his right shoulder at just a split second quicker and higher in the shot, and he would have had that going down, getting these fans involved.
Florida shot 55% from the field in the win over UC Santa Barbara. Back in, leaning through, and Smith draws the foul on Macklin, and the Florida fans react here in Tampa. Second personal on the Florida big man.
Well, I see Macklin getting the moving down deep. And then there's that 1 ball fake and nothing but net.
I hit the water, and everything changed. I saw what my life could be, and found the strength to make it happen. I lost my leg serving my country. Now I serve in a new uniform.
Helping people achieve without limits. At the Hartford, it's what we do, and why we're the founding partner of the U.S. Paralympic team.
Bruh. What's up, Dwight? What you got in the bag? Big Mac, fries. I'll play you for it. My lunch, first one to miss. Watches the other one eat. No jump shot. Bet. Flat-footed, 540. 360 for the free throw line, Olympic-style landing.
Great show, guys, and thanks for lunch.
Who's that? I have no idea. He's taking our lunch, though.
So, your seat good? Get the mirrors all adjusted so you can see everything okay? Just stay off the freeways, all right? I don't want you going out on those yet. Just leave your phone in your purse. I don't want you texting. Okay?
Daddy, okay?
Okay. There you go. Be careful.
Thanks, Dad.
Call me, but not while you're driving. We knew this day was coming. That's why we bought a Subaru.
I got a little constructive criticism for you. There's one thing I don't like about your commercials. Everybody's always showing you their underwear. Now me, I just got these. Comfort Flex waistband. Doesn't pinch, doesn't bind. I could take you, I bet, in these.
The Comfort Flex waistband. Won't pinch, won't bind. New from Hanes.
Well, this year our garden is simply amazing. How did you do it?
Takes a lot of love.
The real difference is this year we went to Lowe's.
Well, all our Lowe's Garden Club Select plants are grown for your local region and selected for peak performance. We get new plants delivered throughout the week, and we guarantee our plants and flowers for 1 whole year. And nobody beats our prices. Nobody.
So it wasn't me?
Well, you provided the love.
Experience. Lowe's. Let's build something together. Lowe's is a proud corporate partner of the NCAA and sponsor of the Senior Class Award.
And now the Lowe's Senior Class Award. Wisconsin's John Lure was one of 10 collegiate players invited to train with USA Basketball. Lure is also a mentor for a juvenile detention center. Vote for the nation's most outstanding senior student athlete at seniorclassaward.com.
Florida leading UCLA 24-23. Both teams shooting it well, with Florida 9 of 14 from the field and Irving Walker 8 points, including a couple of deep ones so far. Ian Eagle, Jim Spinarkle, David Aldridge with us as well. Florida and UCLA, there's